to the witness, the name of your company is GC Strategies, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
How many staff work at GC Strategies?
We have 2 employees, but we outsource our finance and legal.
App programming or design?
No, we do not.
So your role in terms of IT contracts for the federal government is that you're the middleman between the government and the people who do the work. Is that correct?
Well, we're responsible for bringing in individuals and building teams that the federal government would not have access to, as they do not have them on staff, and they also do not have recruitment capabilities.
Right.
So in short, I'm trying to say that we do a lot more work than we actually do because we're only 2 people. We just collect millions of dollars of taxpayer money. That's basically what he's trying to say. So the answer to Barrett's question is yes, that's exactly what we are. We're just the middleman.
I mean, the recruitment capabilities of direct messaging people on LinkedIn, I'm sure a value could be ascribed to that. And actually, we're going to see what that value is. You worked on the $54 million ArriveCan app. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And that app, the work on that app is now under RCMP investigation. Is that correct?
Not that I'm aware of.
What? Not that you're aware of?
Is that a quote unquote not that I can recall type answer?
You purport to be plugged into the government and plugged in to the information technology realm where you staff firms, and you are not aware that the RCMP is investigating one of the products that you advertise on your website, GC Strategies, as something that you built, and you're not aware of the RCMP investigation?
That's pretty serious.
Sorry, but bullshit. Absolute bull. You're going to have a rocky time if you're lying already, Kristian. Holy moly.
You're not aware of the RCMP investigating any of the work related to GC Strategies or anyone that you've done, any of you were contracted by or subcontracted to?
That's correct. My understanding was in the testimonies that I've heard and was clarified by some honorable members that right now RCMP is only investigating the Bottler accusations and not ArriveCan.
Okay, so did you work with Bottler?
I've worked with Bottler for 2 years as their representation, and we were in partnership.
Okay, and how much money have you made so far with contracts with the Government of Canada?
I'm sorry, I do not have those numbers in front of me. I wasn't prepared for that question. My apologies.
You weren't
Oh, I'm prepared for that question. Hold on. I'm very prepared for that question. Stand by, everybody. If we were to do this roughly, we have, let's see, 5, 12, 24. It looks like GC Strategies is around $40 million they've made off of the Government of Canada contracts. So if I can find that in 2 seconds, this guy who manages his own business, he should have that off the top of his head, considering the government is probably his biggest client. $40 million since 2015, GC Strategies from, not the government, our wallets, everybody. That's our taxpayer money.
Right, because the government does not have its own money. They take it from us.
Prepared to tell the committee when we're here to ask you about your contracts with the government, how much you've been paid by the government for your contracts?
Well, this is the ArriveCan application study. This isn't contracting with GC Strategies and the federal government study.
Wow.
I mean, I've already given off all the information I have for the application for ArriveCan, which is the base of the study. I've had 2 hours of testimony. I've given hundreds of pages of documentation.
Right.
And we're awaiting
you had to be summoned to appear here today, sir, and you don't even have the basic details about the work that you've done for the government. How much money was GC Strategies paid to not do any programming or app design for the ArriveCan app?
Wow.
Well, first, I think I clarified in my opening statement the reason why I was summoned was because 1 hour was not sufficient
I heard your
for today.
Opening statement, sir. My question is with respect to your billing for ArriveCan.
Mm-hmm. Can you repeat the question, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're like 10 minutes in. And Barrett is letting him have it now.
I love Michael Barret because he's savage, but he's like a polite kind of savage.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, like he's ruthless, but he's charming about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
How much did you get paid for your work on ArriveCan?
I've already given up all this information. You have all of my invoices.
Sir, are you
to the
refusing to
government?
answer the question? It's a very straightforward question. As you said, this is a study about ArriveCan. It seems to me that it would be quite pertinent for you to be able to tell the committee how many millions of dollars you were paid with your two-person company to do work on an app that you didn't do any programming for. How much money?
Okay, so this is a little confusing why he's doing this, why Kristian is doing this, because he testified a year ago on this, as he stated. I've watched some of that, and he did state in that meeting how much they made. The only reason that I can surmise as to why he doesn't want to talk about that publicly now is because of the firestorm that's going on, and he doesn't want it on record of this committee. But it doesn't matter, because they could go back, if they really wanted to the publications and look what that is. I believe they got paid, it was somewhere it was like $8 or $9 million over 2 years.
I'm more than happy that once I get that number to give you the answer in writing.
Wow.
I do not have that number with me right now, the exact dollars and cents. Apologies.
So if I said the number was $9 million, you wouldn't be able to dispute that?
No, I can dispute that.
Okay, so what, with what
I can tell you that
number?
I can tell you it wasn't 9. Again,
What?
It's publicized in the media. It's somewhere between 15 and 30%. That's the number that everybody's going with.
Okay, so it's quite interesting that you're not interested in sharing the number because of the amount of work that was not done by you on the app and the amount of money that you collected for work that was done on the app. Are you familiar with the testimony that was given that you gave at this committee? You talked about your previous appearance.
It's like I'm in sync
where you
with
talked
Barret.
about relationships. So I'm going to ask you, do you use relationships to get work from the government of Canada?
I actually, my relationships again from meetings that I've had since 2009 with multiple clients. We go through a competitive process to win business, like every other one of the 600 or 700 vendors that go do the same thing.
But you just said that it wasn't a competitive process for Bottler. You literally said that in your opening statement. 10 minutes in and you're already contradicting yourself. This is not going to go well for you, Kristian.
Well, and also, Kristian has no idea how much money that GC Strategies got last year from the government, but Fox does. Last year, they were reported to be paid $9 million, and it was updated to $11 million this year, according to the Globe.
So is your client list relationship based?
My client list is people that I continue to have meetings with from when I first picked up the phone for a cold call and still have to this today.
So we've heard testimony at this committee that that you leveraged relationships with key people in the government in order to guarantee business, and that's how you solicited the participation of subcontractors. Is that a fair characterization?
That's accurately what your testimony is. You've heard, but that's not what happened. You're making reference to a testimony and taking that as gospel.
Actually, he's not. And the fact that you're insinuating that and you're getting defensive about it is actually illustrating a lot, Kristian. What Barret said is what we've heard is this. Is that an accurate characterization? That's what he's saying. He's actually asking you if that's valid. Now, you're assuming that Barret is coming at you, which, let's be honest, he is, but you're assuming he's coming at you believing that over anything that you would actually say, and you're getting really defensive about it.
Want to say thank you to Office Girl for a $5 super chat. I would pay you $9 million, but you actually do work. Thank you.
Plus, I don't think YouTube would actually authorize a super chat that large. So.
Also, I don't think the government would pay us $9 million for trash talking them like this. And we also want to say thank you to David Edwards with the $2 super chat. Sorry. That's okay. We forgive you.
So you're saying that the witnesses lied to the committee?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that the reason the business came about was, as again, having meetings with continuously having meetings and identifying opportunities, and actually being ahead of it, getting partnerships with people, understanding where the market is going, and being able to use procurement processes to get them in, while staying within PSPC guidelines.
So that's a problem for Kristian because He didn't refute the testimony. That's a problem. Big problem. In a way, that's inadvertently or indirectly admitting that how the previous witnesses, which is the Bottler crew, characterized the way he achieved business within the government was by relationships primarily. So he didn't refute that. That's going to be a problem.
Sir, you've said in relationship to in reference to your relationship with Mr. McDonald that you've been with him his whole career in government. Is that correct?
That was an embellishment.
An embellishment by you?
Correct. So while we sell to the federal government, I also have to sell to my clients.
So by selling, you lied to them.
Wow.
Oh, Barret. Wow.
Get him.
Absolutely. And here's the interesting thing. Okay, so let's just do a recap here. So Kristian Firth has no idea how much money his company has made from the federal government. He has no idea how much his company has made from the ArriveCan app, but he is very astutely aware that a leaked recording of a conversation that he had with the Bottler crew was out there on the internet. It had him stating that he said that, so he knows he can't deny that.
Okay, so we're dealing with CDSA, it's the Canada Border Services Agency. What we can share right now is that we're getting very close to almost being very similar to the RCMP was recently. I'm in a very unique situation, right? So we have essentially the ear of the president right now of CDSA, which is, I guess, maybe the equivalent of the minister or like the deputy minister. And my client who's leading, he's a very high executive responsible for innovation cloud. What do you need from me from a next step of getting the proposal over to the president? Because this will land on his desk 100%. Like this is going above the ADM level.
And furthermore, lying about influence is still a criminal offense called frauds on government under Section 121.
There's a big problem for the government, and that starts with Cameron McDonald, but it also it continues with John Oswowski. It also continues with Marco Mendicino, who the Bottler crew testified received an email to this effect, and it also includes all of these other people that Kristian Firth is connected to. So the question is when is Kristian Firth going to stop trying to protect his own butt and start throwing mud at other people in order to misdirect people away from his own corruption and involvement in this matter? That's my real question.